Think about this. Emotional control, also known as conscious vulnerability. So, there is a difference between healthy emotions and not so healthy emotions, which we talk about here. The reason why we need to talk about the not so healthy emotions is because, in order to understand healthy emotional control, we must know what not healthy emotions are. These emotions all come from a state of, I'm not good enough. Also, a lot of these emotions can linger within us when we can't let go of forgive ourselves or others from our past. So, here are some unhealthy emotional traits. Fear. This emotion comes from pain or threat. You may believe certain situations, people, or relationships bring you pain or threat because of something that has happened to you or in your life. Listen, fear is not something we are born with. This is a learned emotion that comes from experiences. Then there's rejection. Have a fear of being dismissed or abandoned, typically when you feel something does not go your way. Since you see only one way, this can interfere with your state of being through rejection. Then there's sadness, looking for someone else to fulfill you or looking for the outside world to fulfill something within that you can only fulfill. Then there's shame. According to Brene Brown, a researcher at the University of Houston, says shame is an intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. It's an emotion that affects all of us and profoundly shapes the way we interact in our world. Then there's anger. When you have displeasure or hostility about something or someone, where it controls your emotions and you become reactive rather than being able to control the emotion you're experiencing and bring it back into the present moment. That's anger for you. So, part of the masculine is knowing how to identify with his emotions. It's not saying that you can't experience any of these emotions, but it's learning how to identify and control them. Getting clear guidance from within himself on why he is feeling this way, and this determines what he does with his emotions. A lot of people also call this EQ. Part of having a high EQ is understanding the root of your triggers, trauma, and having tools to deal with it, which we will get into shortly. When you know your own emotion and also have a better relationship with good or bad emotions, then you start to own your emotions. This is emotional control. When we suppress emotions, this can prevent real connection, and women need connection. People need connection. When we exert emotion, then you prevent real connection because it's also not controlled. You can come off needy or less confident. Even though these two different emotional balances that I'm talking about here, they both come from the same foundation. Not being emotionally aware. Few men are emotionally aware, and more often they are dismissive or stubborn until the woman leaves them, and then they become total opposite, especially when they suppress emotions because they're scared of coming off needy or letting someone in. If this happens and the woman leaves them, then they overconsume emotions, which becomes overwhelming and suffocating because there's a lack of awareness of his emotions, and we get into this fight or flight response. So typically this happen when a woman says she's going to leave you because she can't connect or have emotions with you, and all you do is devour her with emotion. So what we want to make sure we do is maintain our balance of emotional control and become more emotionally aware so we can share conscious vulnerability, so we can connect to women and also be a very great attractor and seductor. More often than not, men have made fun of other men for being too emotional and calling them beta, simps, or women. Or you're too much in your feelings and labeled them as chumps and beta again and simps, which is not okay. This does not fix the issue. It's teaching others to be very emotional, or you become very emotionally dismissive, which is both just an act. Nothing about this is authentic. So let's stop wearing lack of emotion as a badge of honor. What's important that we do is continue to connect with ourselves and be comfortable enough to share at the right times and the right situations. When you're scared of being needy, this also means that you are not confident within yourself and your truth. The part of masculine core is to be able to honor his emotions, but choose the right times when you express them, what to express, why to express, when to express, and how to express them. I'm going to make it a little easier for you. I'm going to give you the 5 principles to expressing emotions. When? When is understanding the timing of the situation and expressing these emotions. Are you doing this because we have thought things through, or are we doing this with the mentality of too little, too late? Or are we choosing to express ourselves because we are honoring ourselves with full integrity, or are we doing it to control others' emotions or manipulating a certain situation? Then the how. What tone of voice do we use? Is the communication clear, concise, direct, and confident when we express ourselves and the things that we need to be talked about or things that we may feel? Do we show that when we express emotions, we do them without any doubt or trying to use the emotions to control other emotions of someone else or manipulate a certain situation? The what. What are we expressing? And is it the right timing? Is it about a recent event that has happened? Is it about something that needs to get better with the woman or relationship that you're in? Be clear on exactly what it is and understand the why when you know what you want to express. Are we expressing to seek approval or because we didn't take the opportunity to express when we had the moment? Think about that. Then the why. The why will always come through your value system. You will always understand this why when you understand your value system. This will always help you discuss hard topics, issues, or things that need to be addressed if you know your values. If you don't know your values, you will never know your why. And then there's where. Where is it coming from? Are you secure knowing that the emotion that you're expressing are coming from non-attachment and that you know for sure you are showing up fully and expressing what is right for you and the other person? Are you focusing on knowing that you will be able to communicate clearly if you speak your truth without the battle of trying to please another person, but with compassion and integrity within yourself? So we're going to break down one step by step of how to do so. So step 1 is understanding your emotions. When we are able to know our emotions and communicate them effectively instead of covering them up, we can change our dynamic in our relationships and the energy within ourselves. Now, picking and choosing the times is very important, guys. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. Just knowing that you do and the reason why you do is powerful enough when you feel these emotions. Also, being able to be clear about them and then make a conscious change to not only address them with you and your partner or another woman or girl, but also make a conscious effort to not stay stagnant in these emotions. So here are a couple of examples of what I mean here. Gabriel was a married man with 2 kids. His wife was not paying a lot of attention to him and felt like she was just not as attracted to him and did not put their marriage first, excuse me. His wife would sometimes fall asleep in their daughter's room and not fall asleep with him. His wife would spend a lot of time alone with his teenage daughter and rarely any time with him. Even though they still were intimate once a week, Gabriel noticed something was off. His wife would also go out with her friends and drink heavily because she wanted to have this time to herself. He noticed another man flirting with her in the group when they were out and was completely upset about this, as he should be, but yet he did not express his reasons for being upset. He did not state the fact that his anger made him passive, so he held back to hold fights from his wife. The boundaries then became crossed until he talked to her and connected with her openly, talking about their marriage. When he did, his wife reciprocated and started sleeping with him more as he stated why he was upset, started acting differently, and how it was important that these boundaries about would not be crossed with other men. So what happened here is he voiced his concerns and his angers, probably not in the moment of anger, so he didn't react, he responded. So as he had a coaching session with me, he actually got his wife into what we talk about in our communication part, asking her questions, putting in her in making it kind of her decision, asking questions of why do you think this is okay? Why did you allow this to happen? Do you think that this is something that is healthy for our marriage? Instead of telling her what to do, he made her part of the conversation. And this is what you can do when you respond. And we talk about this in our communication part as well. Just in general with dating as well, this helps, not just marriages. And I'm going to give you another example. Dane and his girlfriend would argue all the time because she just wanted him to be open to marriage and a future together. She fought for him to see a future with her until one day she said she can't do this anymore. This is when he was chasing her and so scared to lose her. He then called me, and this is an avoidant of emotions because he was scared to connect. He believed showing emotions would make him weak, even though the woman he loved wanted the real connection. So we had to really peel the layers back as to why he holds back emotions, what scared him, what challenged him, what he really was scared of. He was scared that she would leave him if he gave her emotions and showed her he wanted to start a future with her because then he could get hurt. Also believed that this is what he believed that this is what keeps a woman, was this hardcore outer shell. But what he didn't know was that not showing the emotion would actually also give him the hurt he was trying to avoid all along. Women feel everything. We want connection, we want balance, and we want safety. Another example, Henry was a client that came from a household of anger. He was abused by his father growing up, and he said he would never be like his father. So he shared too much emotions with his women. Sort of like he had more feminine nature in his emotions. He was sharing a sense of belonging, meaning I need you, I love you, I want to be with you. All his cards were open on the deck before he really even got to know women. So questioning if he was worthy of love because his trauma was not healed, he would always prove himself to women. So this came off in his behavior, his language, and romantic relationships. Another example, Lauren was a man that lived with his girlfriend and he would get mad at her for things that were happening all around them. He just lost his job due to COVID and also was not making any money. So his sense of worth went away, which was that he was providing for his girlfriend. He didn't see his sense of worth being connected to his money until it got taken away. He started to act differently. He was closed off, he was depressed, he shared less emotion with his girl, and she could feel this. They got into a fight one day about something that was not picked up around the house. She left, and because of his frustrations with her, so he thought at the time, he punched the wall and made a hole in it. His girlfriend came back and said, "Why did you punch the wall?" And he just replied, "I just lost it. I'm okay now." He totally avoided a time to share his emotion and connect with his woman, but he didn't. Her reply was, "I just wish you would just talk to me before punching a wall." This was a perfect moment just to tell her something simple and to the point of your emotions, his emotions. Something like, "I'm really feeling uncomfortable knowing I lost my job and I don't have any choice but to continue to look for new improvements, and I'm just taking my frustration on the wrong ways. Or I'm going through a lot of emotions right now and I'm trying to figure out these things because I want the best for you and I." But instead, he showed opposite. So the most important reason why men should learn their emotions is not because it's a new trend or you will be looked at as a good guy, but men that know their emotions are really powerful men. Part 2 in expressing your emotions is now we do not want to diarrhea or vomit our emotions from our mouth, obviously. This is not emotional control. There is no control, actually, if we do this. It's meant to be shared in times that need to progress in conversations or feel more connected. Think of it also like this: expressing emotions is to be conducted in a way where you're being informative. Expressing emotions is not to be conducted at your expense or anyone else's expense. Example: let's say a girl or your girl called you weak. Ooh. Well, that not might not only be a sign of maybe you have to look at your behaviors or you have to look at the person you're dating. You don't need to attack or make big demands and control the situation after that. You don't have to withdraw and say nothing at all or become passive aggressive. You know that you feel hurt around this comment. Also, you feel shame about being called weak. So, you share it with assertiveness and compassion. Example: that's not fair to say. I already feel disrespected enough by that comment, and either you can choose to support me, enter her name, and not mock me. This is all reaction based words, and it's not going to get to me. So stop, and that's it. There's a significant difference in sharing how this comment affected you and being very assertive and direct with compassion because you know this is the healthiest choice for you, her, and the relationship, or whatever woman you're dating. At the time, we must make sure we are also upholding the behaviors we want others to exhibit within us and our relationship with them. We also do not express emotions to gain control because this will cause a woman to disconnect. Like I said, women feel everything. We express emotions from a state of contentment. So if you're not feeling content, then we should be able to look into why before we express them. The better you get with owning your emotions, the quicker this will become. Here are times that men go wrong when they express emotions. Expressing it when it's too late can then become overwhelming, what we call fight or flight mode, which I've talked about previously. And we may have not expressed emotions at all when we were with this girl in a relationship with this girl. Then as soon as we notice she's leaving us, we express emotions like a diarrhea vomit out of the mouth. Another one is expressing them too early. So attraction is a process, guys. I believe it's really important to build a mutual attraction before sharing your feelings with someone, to be honest. If you share your feelings too often, then you will be stuck more in the feminine. And building attraction in the stages that I mentioned in this product are going to be very important to everyone, but especially someone like yourself. Okay, the next one is expressing them to get her to like you. What I want to make very clear is getting someone to like you is not by telling them you like them. It's about you showing them through actions, and they do the same, vice versa. Again, they do the same, vice versa. I've seen on many occasions that men have expressed their emotions with women that have friend zoned them because they were exuding too much, maybe feminine energy, being too available, which we'll get into. That they were kind of boiling inside and wanted to tell her that they like her, as this will be the cure for all. But they have not led and incorporated attraction, as they were just trying to be nice or go with the flow of things. Thinking that if I tell this woman I like her, she will like me, when nothing was created and built in regards to attraction at all. Possibly no kissing, no flirtation, and she may have not focused too much energy on you, or only when it was convenient for her. Give that some thought. Another one is expressing your emotions in the face of anger. Is also a negative way to express emotions and does not have a man stand in his masculine energy. When a man expresses his emotions in the face of anger, it shows women insecurity and a non-balance of emotional control, meaning bad emotions in the face of anger. Also, when we express emotions in the face of anger, they can come off invalid to the person we are trying to express them to. You can say things as well in this moment and call names out of anger in order to get someone's attention, and then express emotions, which does not show emotional control. Another way you would express the wrong emotions is expressing emotions in the face of threat. Meaning when you feel threatened about her leaving you, or feel threatened you're going to lose something, entitlement comes from something or someone else. And when it's managed by this, then you feel threatened it will leave all the time. Expressing emotions because you are reacting to a situation instead of thinking it through and standing in emotional control for you and everyone else. Typically, here, the right motive to try and do most of the time is to just respond. Meaning you think it through after all the endorphins dissipate and you get back to the reality of the situation, and now you can think clearly. Expressing emotions to become manipulative. This is done in a sense of a fear tactic to get someone scared to not leave you, or that you are trying to paint a picture of who you are, but in reality, the basis of what you are saying is a lie. Maybe there are some self-worth issues in this one as well. More often than not, men eliminate their masculinity because they become what women want them to be. Like I stated before, there is an ultra feminine side to this, but yet also an ego alpha side to this. This will give you somewhat the same result. It's about understanding the perfect balance of both owning your masculine and feeling empowered, but not from an ego state. Some men may start to notice that they are different from other men, so they mask it with excuses. They may notice that they are different or better than because they judge other men for being the following: angry or full of aggression, see men as controlling, they tell themselves they aren't violent, they pay attention to a woman's needs, so they don't treat them like shit. They think that if they continue to be the nice guy, this will make for a good lover. Here are 3 principles to stating emotions. This does not always have to be used in correct order, but can help to someone who is nervous or not used to expressing emotions. So I want you to use this in a statement response. So here's observation statements you can use when it comes to expressing emotions. You can say, I feel like, it seems like, sharing a positive reason why this needs to be different or stopped. Listening to the other person's feedback and inquiring about it as well. More often than not, these days, men are more and more getting disconnected from their masculinity. We need more women stepping up to the plate and stopping manipulating men, basically, to think that masculinity is something bad or wrong. As a woman, we need this from a man, period. There are so many men these days that choose to sometimes not connect with other women, and this is where it's important to make sure that you do. Some men may use the excuse that they don't connect with others, but there is a reason for that. So instead, they stay home and game most of the time. There's nothing wrong with gaming, but everything in moderation. So I ask you, how many guy friends do you have? Do you find it hard to make male friends? Do you hang out with men often? If you answer no to my last 2 questions, then we have some work to do. Here are some activities that I want you to do, and you'll also see in your worksheets. 1 is connect with other men. 2 is find healthy role models. And 3 is re-examine your relationship with your father. List 2 men that you would like to know better, that are in your world. When you do this, write something about these men that you would like to talk to them about and do together. Then commit to it and contact them and make plans to hang out. So part 3 in this is traits of a masculine man. Traits of a masculine man comes down to decisiveness. When a woman wants you to make a decision, plan the date, move forward. Decisiveness, instead of asking a woman, what is it that you want to do? I don't care, you choose. None of that, guys. Decisiveness is sexy. Assertiveness means knowing your foundational principles and values and speaking with assertiveness when something has been done wrong to you or to her. Calmness means that you're calm in the face of anger, in the face of judgment, in the face of disconnect. And also you're calm on a date. You're leaned back, shoulders back. You're just chilling. You don't have to always speak and fill in every awkward silence. And you're present with her, listening to her on the date without having to think about your next question. You have passions and intensity in your passions in your work. You have courage to do the things that you love. And you have productivity in your life, meaning you always try to make things the best way possible for your life and you try to advance in your